Most ribs are cooked low and slow, but today I'm gonna grill a whole rack directly over charcoal on the S&S kettle. It sounds like a very terrible idea because pork fat and the hot coals usually mean huge flare-ups and burnt meat. But if you learn how to control the fire, you flip and you rotate at the right time, you're gonna get a delicious grill flavor that you just cannot get from low and slow ribs. Let's start. These are some spare ribs that have been squared off into St. Louis style cut ribs. Since we're cooking this directly over charcoal, I want to keep the seasoning pretty simple. I'm going to start off with about a half a teaspoon of kosher salt per pound of meat. And then adding to it, I got equal part freshly ground pepper and a half part garlic powder. Give that a good mix. You could use your favorite barbecue rub here, but you need to be careful with anything that has a lot of sugar. Now, if you want to add a sweet rub, glaze, or barbecue sauce, save that for the very end when the ribs are almost done. The way that we're going to cook these is going to be directly over the fire, and that any sugar on some rubs are just going to burn right up. So I'm keeping it very simple because I really want the meat to shine here. I want that charcoal flavor to be in there, and I don't want to put in too much complicated seasoning, so I'm keeping it very simple with salt, pepper, and garlic. Now, once you get that front seasoning, go ahead and flip them over and then get the back side. And also don't forget them sides. Once you get a nice even seasoning, go ahead and do another flip, and let's use the rest of this rub here. These ribs are pretty simple right now, but once they hit that fire, that charcoal is going to add a ton of flavor. Let's get the S&S kettle ready. Let's pour in some charcoal. Now, during a normal low and slow cook, you'll bunch up all your coals over to one side, light it up, and then have your ribs placed over here. And that's also known as two-zone cooking. You have a hot side and you have a cool side. But today, we want to use the entire grill area, and we're going to spread these charcoals all over apart once they're lit. To light up these charcoal, we're going to go ahead and put them on the center. You want to light about a chimney's worth of charcoal. Obviously, if you got a chimney, use it. But I'm going to go ahead and show you another way to light up charcoal. I'm going to use these starter cubes in different spots, and then we'll light. Yeah, once lit, we'll go ahead and spread them out as evenly as you can. Now we have a nice, super hot base layer. Go ahead and put our grate in and make sure I oil them. Always oil your grates. We'll let that ignition smoke clear out a little bit, and also get our grill grates nice and hot. Got the bottom vent half open. Let's calm down the fire just a little bit. I'm also going to go half open on the top vent. We're just going to let this settle. You still have some of that ignition smoke. That's not the smoke you want on your food. Let that clear out a little bit. Okay, that ignition smoke is cleared out. You got a really, really hot grate. Let's hear that sizzle. So remember, this is very, very hot. But right now, I'm just trying to get color on the meat side first. That's why the bone sides are facing up. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of space on this grate, which is going to allow you to put an extra rack or two of ribs, or even you get fancy with some chicken, or maybe even a tri-tip. Lots and lots of space. So we're going to go ahead and cover it right up. Your lid is your friend. I'm going to open the vent now, half open. You can see what the temperature climbs up to. Now, if the fire starts getting a little too excited, don't panic. Go ahead and close the lid, and that's going to cut off some of the oxygen. It's going to calm that flare up, and it's going to let the ribs keep on cooking. Going to check right underneath it. It's getting some good. Still not ready to flip, but I am going to move it. Get your lid back on. If I leave the lid open too long, the fire gets more oxygen and it gets stronger. If I close the lid, I calm everything down and I buy myself more control. Be sure to use your other senses when the lid is on. Listen to your fire. Make sure it's not making too much noise. Pay close attention to that smoke and make sure that it doesn't get too smoky on you. All right, let's check on it again. Still not 100% happy with how these are looking, but let's move them again. All right, let's flip on over. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Those charred bits right there, that's flavor. There's a little bit of bone pull back here, we have to note that the bone side is a little bit more forgiving. It can handle the direct heat a little bit better, especially now that the fire, well, it's starting to calm down a little. At first, I'm checking every couple of minutes. As it goes on, I'm checking every 10 to 15 minutes. But you're gonna settle into a rhythm. If you're new to this, don't let those first few minutes scare you off. The fire is always going to be the most active in the beginning. Just stay with it and remember to use that lid. Now, most people mess this up by treating direct grilling like low and slow. This is not a put it on the grill and walk away kind of cook. We're gonna flip, we're gonna rotate, we're gonna watch the color, and we're gonna let those ribs tell us when it's time to move and remove. Now, low and slow ribs are amazing, but they give you a real different result. They're softer, they're smokier. These are grilled ribs, a little bit more bite, more char, and a much more intense grill flavor. So after about 90 minutes of flipping, rotating, checking, the color is right where I wanted. These ribs have enough color. There's no need to push it any further and risk burning them. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the foil wrap. Check these out. That is flavor right there. These are hot. Now we have them wrapped up. It's all about getting them to be as tender as possible. These ribs have excellent grill flavor already. We're just trying to speed up the cook and, more importantly, get these ribs tender. Now, just because they're wrapped up, not mean you should not keep moving them around. Now we're going to keep cooking until they probe tender. And when I say probe tender, I mean that the probe should slide in with very little resistance. If the probe goes nice and easy, like room temperature butter, we're good. If you're going to sauce these ribs, wait until the very end. Sugar and direct heat can go from a beautiful and sticky to bitter and burnt. I'm going to light with a light coated barbecue sauce. Nothing too crazy. Now, if you want the recipe to this barbecue sauce, be sure to check the description. The ribs already have a ton of flavor from the salt, pepper, and garlic and the direct charcoal heat. The sauce is just there to add a little sweetness and a bit of shine. I want that sauce to caramelize. I want it to tack up, and I want just a little bit more char. Once the sauce hits direct heat, you need to stay close. A few minutes is plenty. Trust your eyes and your nose. Once you start seeing a little bit of smoke, go ahead and flip over. They are not going to take very long. Depending on how hot your fire is, 3 to 5 minutes is all you need. These are looking real good. So let's get these ribs off. Last minute check for tenderness, and you could tell cracking. These are perfectly tender. Now, before we slice, we have to let it rest. Give it about 5 to 10 minutes. And now that they're rested, make sure you have the ribs facing bone side up. This way you can actually see where the bones are and you know exactly where to cut. If you try slicing from the meat side, sometimes you're guessing and you end up cutting right into the bone. After we cut one off, let's take a look. You can see the moisture, you can see the char, and you can smell that grilled pork flavor. Now, you might have noticed that the grill was looking a bit empty, but there's no stopping from you putting an extra rack or two on the grill. There is plenty of space. You know what else would a really good go with these ribs? A little bit of chicken. And I made this exact cooking directly over charcoal. I made some chicken video that you should check out next. And right now, I'm gonna eat some of these ribs. If you're expecting super soft, fall off the bone barbecue ribs, this is not that.
So much flavor.
But the flavor is absolutely worth it. The direct charcoal flavor that it gets is just a different level. That char, those crispy edges, that caramelized sauce at the end, it's just a complete different rib experience.